Welcome back to the EMS 1 Katowice final. We're in day one. It's rolling up on 11:30 local time in Poland in the Spodek Arena. It's definitely dark outside, but it's very, very light and very exciting in here as we have seen pretty much, again, some upsets in the start of Group C and D in the first round of play. We spoke a little bit about the map with Navi and LGB. Yep. But we now know that we're going to be looking at Fnatic and iBUYPOWER going up in a second. What's your feeling on that? The bracket's going to be up here, I believe.
Yeah, here comes our bracket. Again, I did call iBUYPOWER, and I kind of called Fnatic. So that, to me, that's like a double-edged set, both dropping down. And obviously, we are at the stage where, as I say, lose two in barbecue, someone's going home with $2,000, and neither of these teams, especially Fnatic, are expected to leave tonight.
Having been the victors at the last $250,000 tournament of this kind, and some saying, I'm not siding with that, I'm staying completely middle of the road, but some say perhaps in a flukish kind of fashion, this is not the moment when they want to be having a hard time or a bumpy road. They want to be showing that they weren't a one-hit wonder on that, and that they deserve to be, the victors of DreamHack Winter. Do you think that's going to be playing into their mind when they go up against iBUYPOWER?
I mean, absolutely. Karn is here with them, and he is doing all he can to make them understand how important this one is. To send the right message that, hey, this first time wasn't a fluke. And again, you do have the conversation about best of one side. Does that really give you the best team of the matchup? It does on that one map and that one space and time, but best of threes, you can throw away a map, you can lose and come back and then win the next two, and then maybe that really tells you who the better overall team is of the matchup. But hey, it is what it is. It's best of one.
Both teams have the same problems. So
we all got the same rules. What we do know, we're back to Inferno again.
Inferno.
And iBUYPOWER has the CT side. So
do you think that's going to make them happy? Is that going to play into their hand?
in a normal world, it is generally considered a CT-sided map. Obviously, Complexity last hour turned that on its head with a 12-3 as terrorists. But generally, it leans to be CT-sided. Not like a nuke is CT-sided, but definitely it favors you, especially if you get through that pistol round and can get some other rounds rolling and get your money going. But again, I won't say what Demon won't let me say anymore, the catchphrase I use. But again,
any given Sunday.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll say
you
it for you. Don't
Ding!
worry. I'll
chalk another one up.
There you go.
But again, I would say it's going to be a good match. But again, they both kind of did me wrong already. So I don't even know how this could be a blowout either way. Who knows?
And of course, very quickly on the side, we have Mystique and Navi. Any predictions on that side, or?
I'm going to go with Navi.
Go with Navi.
Yeah, they're gonna keep the dream alive.
Well,
but we'll see.
We will definitely see, and of course, in order to see, that means we need to hand over to the wonderful caster duo that is, of course, Stu and Pansy. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sean and Scott. Interesting stuff for sure. We have a game where one of iBUYPOWER or Fnatic is going out. Crazy stuff. Let's talk through the two losses, which was not a statement I thought I'd say. iBUYPOWER losing to Dignitas. Now, there's an interesting backstory that feeds into the best of one there. They lost 14-1 CT side on Nuke. Sorry, Dignitas were CT side on Nuke and won 14-1 in that first half. That can happen to anyone.
Yep.
That's, that you've seen it happen, at any given point on any given Sunday. To any number of teams.
Sensational use of the words here. It's fantastic.
So I don't know what to read into that. I don't know if that's the true reaction. I don't know if that's what that actually means. Fnatic, they're losing 16-2 to Reason. That just came out of nowhere.
It's a game of flukes right now in my eyes. A lot of questions are raised about both of these teams having previous incredibly big victories, whether it be at the ESEA finals or whether it be a DreamHack. Both the teams we're looking at coming into this game have both been labeled flukes. And there's been a lot of those kind of coming down to best of one moments, maybe that now can be chalked up to it as well, that, as you said, Nuke, it's a dangerous map. You don't get the side you want, you get put on that one, you're going to be coming in with a huge deficit, and you're back in that mentality of round by round by round. You can take it no other way. Otherwise you're pretty much kind of psyching yourself out already. So it's going to be hard.
Looks like it's going to be Inferno as our map.
Yep.
I'm going to make a big sweeping generalization.
Okay.
Americans deliver on Inferno.
Is there a reason we're going for
Is that
this?
accurate? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Scoots is nodding. Just so many big American games. Complexity versus very games at DreamHack. Then roll all the way back to, well, we were talking about earlier with Jason. Let's go all the way back to 2004 and 3D versus SK. It can happen. Americans deliver on Inferno.
I wish I knew why as well, if there's like a special thing about it, but
Because God blesses America.
we're going there right now. It's getting late. Even hearing the Scoots like getting a little bit riled up. He might tweet that one out, but
So we've got 40 seconds left to get this one underway. Where's your money on this?
Game of Throws, for me, I'm going to go for Fnatic. I'm reckoning Fnatic can step up here. I think it's down on their individual players. They've had a shock. They've had a bit of a surprise. I think it's now time they go, all right, guys, we can't lose this. JW kicks it up a gear. They've got the players that can do it. But then again, Dazed, he's a classic. If he's in the right mentality, as you mentioned before, a lot of these guys can drag their team through on that kind of mentality alone. But whether or not they can do it, I do not know. But just to take you guys through the lineups, in case you hadn't seen them somehow, obviously Fnatic, Devilwalk, Flusher, the ever-incredible JW, who is always best, Pronax and Schneider, and then for iBUYPOWER, Adren, Anger, AZK, Daze, and Skadoodle. So there's so much talent within these lineups. It's very hard to call, and a lot of it comes down to mentality, I feel, at this moment. A lot to prove.
Khan's got a big role to play. What was Khan saying after that last map? How did he get that team up and going? I'm going to go for iBUYPOWER because I went out there with the sweeping generalization
So you better
that
be right.
Americans like Inferno, or Americans deliver on Inferno. So I'm just going to follow that through and say that iBUYPOWER are going to win this. But phenomenal situation. One of these two teams is going home. Take us away on the pistol round.
Well, we are already seeing quite a stack coming up from iBUYPOWER towards B. 3 players present, and Dazed already opening up, finding Schneider there, and you are seeing the immediate reaction from them backing away, but it's not helping when Flusher is just pushing the hell up. And you can imagine the confidence either of these teams will gain from just this one round. So vital after such a surprising loss for both teams just moments ago. So hopefully they can muster themselves back into the kind of right mentality here, and Fnatic on that T side now, looking like they still want to hit that B side. They are not messing around here. The smokes are coming in, and we still see Adren and Anger creating a lovely crossfire, but Pronax is breaking through. JW in a great spot as well. The bomb has been picked up and dropped down by Adren, so iBUYPOWER are holding on here. They're tucked so deep into the site, and actually Adren is really doing work at the moment. 2 already as they flooded right towards him and look at this spot. Lovely positioning, but still Flusher will find him, and now Anger in a little bit of trouble, but still we do see iBUYPOWER with the numbers advantage until that moment right there. But JW on little to no health, and Skadoodle comes in with the mop to clean up the rest of that round. And actually, iBUYPOWER, as you mentioned, Americans, they seem to like this map, and they held that really well.
They did in the end. They pulled it out, and if you want to go through the momentum, having had a horrendous T side on Nuke, they did then only lose 2 rounds on their own CT side. They won 8 in a row. They did pick it up, and now they picked themselves up the pistol round here on CT Inferno against Fnatic. So interesting stuff. We are going to have a roller coaster of 45 minutes ahead of us, so stick with us and enjoy the fun. We thank you very much for sticking with us all the way through to the wee hours here in Katowice, Poland, as $250,000 are up for grabs here in the EMS 1 finals. We'll be ready to bring this through you the whole weekend long, as AZK will rattle off a few shots. He's got incoming. With the exception of Flusher, the Fnatic side have committed to going up mid and towards A, but Schneider's going to debate about helping Flusher out and goes up the banana walkway to help him out. It's Adren that's sat waiting to see action with Pronax coming his way, and AZK's there as well. Let's see whether they will see that action. No, reversal and full rotation. There's going to be 4 players going up banana, and it'll be Dazed who will see some action. Anger first to frag, second to frag as well. Got himself 2. Adren helped himself to Pronax on the other side. It's JW that was doing the damage, but he's now out. It's all on Flusher, and he does have the bomb, but he's between a rock and a very, very hard place, as Fnatic will, in theory, lose this round, and a successful pistol round conversion for iBUYPOWER. Good work from them, 2-0. Confidence will be returning.
Yeah, and losing one player, Anger also picked up the 2 kills initially as well, so they're keeping quite clean in this one. You know, they're not losing unnecessary players. You know, the first round, a little bit sloppy. You know, it was not a clean sweep, but they certainly made up for it there. Solid hold, and, you know, their patience was put to the limit. We saw that double, you know, the fake coming out, a bit of a double as well. They sent 2 players up Banana initially, swung back and forth, but finally committed towards B, and, well, it was handled. So, 3-2 split from the CTs. We are seeing Daze and Anger getting a little bit more aggressive down towards Banana. Certainly toying with the idea of it, but backing away nevertheless. Sticking with those pharmacies for now. A couple of shots coming back and forth, but Daze will remain unscathed and back away. So, a little bit of a slower round coming out once again, and we are seeing Fnatic stacking up right where we were just watching then, and only Devilwalk really roaming through those apartments. The 4 other players very much looking towards that B site as the beautiful X-ray that is being called for so much will display to us. Oh, that smoke's lovely. Just going to hold them back even longer. No one wants to go walking into that one. The flashes are there, but I do like my iBUYPOWER constantly seem in control, even though they may not be, you know, on the attacking side that generally allows that. They always keep, you know, a good firm grip on this. So maybe they could, you know, deal with this. I think they've got a good idea where these guys are. We are seeing Flusher now edging towards them. Anger has picked him up. He goes for the second, goes for the third. These guys really doing damage. There's 4. He could probably get a 5th, and he's going to do it. Nice, clean round from Anger. Yeah, they're against the pistol, but they certainly made it look easy. Bear in mind, this is Fnatic. They won the last big tournament like this, and they made it look easy. So certainly a bit of an upset so far. But then again, first 3 rounds after the pistol, it can be expected, but this is doing it in style.
Hey, you pick up an ace, you pick up an ace. If I got an ace in a $250,000 tournament, I'd be texting my mum within 5 seconds. So we'll see. The response will be, "What's an ace? You playing poker again?" As Fnatic now on a vital buy round for them there. First in their T side, grenade from Anger finishes off Flusher like a basketball swoosh down to that right-hand side, and that'll leave JW to reverse back towards T-spawn, pick himself up the bomb. The other Fnatic players are down by A. Devilwalk will lead the assault. He pops his head out through the middle there. There's smoke covering as he just rattles off a few shots in towards him, and now Adren will lie in wait. Anger's pushed a long way down that banana walkway, says, "Guys, nothing this way at the moment. You can expect some incoming," and suddenly he'll sound the alarm. He got caught throwing that nade, and now JW's pushed through, and the B side is open. Dazed is going to try and make a quick rotation to close it off, but he's gone around the back. Pronax, JW, and Devilwalk are all in there. Schneider does get himself the frag onto AZK. Skadoodle and Dazed help themselves to a frag apiece. It's Devilwalk and JW up against 3 very angry Americans here as they look to reclaim their site. And JW has taken a slither of damage, as has Devilwalk, and Devilwalk's down and out. Good work, Dazed. Can he finish off the job? Oh, yes he can! Excellent work from Dazed, and iBUYPOWER deliver. First buy round Fnatic has been swatted.
And you know what? I was about to call out Daze for overly rotating then, but that man just went straight back and handled business. You know, he left Anger there. Anger got aggressive. He pushed down Banana. Completely fine. The smoke was there to support him, but as you said, caught out by throwing a nade. Nothing you can do. It's the most frustrating thing in the world, but that retake coming in was so well done. These guys are looking, you know, really focused in this game, and I, you know, credit to them for keeping this one going. I can't wait to see how this kind of progresses. Fnatic going straight back at it, though. They're straight back with the AKs. They're not messing around, and it might be time to try an A, because B has been a disaster to this point. They've kind of toyed with the idea of A, but they've always kind of swung back around, maybe left Devilwalk towards the apartments, but that's about it for their commitment here. And this time they seem a little bit, you know, happier to try it out. Obviously, they can't get down Banana too easy. Now those deep smokes are landing from Anger. He's pushing down Banana. Flusher still playing with the idea of maybe making his presence known, but AZK could be in for a world of action if Fnatic decide to push here. And you can see Flusher there just toying with the idea of it, pretty much on his own, not really committing. It's a matter of finding that pick, but you can see Fnatic really are lining up. Skadoodle lays in wait, as does the others. AZK has been found, as has Skadoodle. A is looking like a viable option, as Adren is really the only man there. He's going to be caught in the heels by JW, and A will be in the hands of Fnatic. And the last 2 remaining players of iBUYPOWER have a long walk ahead of them. And my god, do Fnatic know that. These 2 players have been making it hurt for the last couple of rounds. They're not going to give this one away, surely. Dazed and Anger, there's barely a routine. You know, you got Pronax, you got Flusher, all watching the pushes. Flusher by mid, watching Banana. He knows they're still on this side. He knows they've not crossed through. They knows they're not a CT arch. So he just needs to play cautiously. He can't overextend. He could be struggling, and oh, the frustration just peering through there. He will be picked up by Anger, getting a little bit overzealous almost and trying to challenge out. Let's bear in mind, Devilwalk and Schneider are really damn low, and I wouldn't want to fancy my chances in this one, but we are seeing this round coming to a close eventually. Bomb is down. You can see Fnatic really drawing back. They know they're safe here now, and they needed this. You know, A was a vital round, and thank you, Steel. That is a beautiful line, much better than the boxes you were drawing on the map. And yeah, you can see Fnatic do manage to retain those guns, and they will be looking for those next round, and they needed that. They needed to break the defense. Otherwise, you start feeling like it's impossible.
Massive round, as you say. They rolled the dice on that one and came up trumps. And iBUYPOWER pegged back, and their confidence will just be kept in check as we head to 4-1 and round number 6 now underway. What do the iBUYPOWER side have in their locker now as Fnatic are on the board? It's Adren who pushes out into middle. Saw absolutely nothing, was probably a little surprised by that, as AZK will poke his out as well. You got Fnatic just going all A. There are two players on B, and this is a 5-on-3 here for Fnatic. If they can make the entry, they get the first frag. AZK's putting up a fight. He's going to get himself 2 before he's finally down to the back by Pronax. Great work, AZK. He's done his job. What about the rest of iBUYPOWER? Can they retake with just Anger and Dazed against 3 fully health Swedes? If they don't, they're going to find themselves in trouble. As Dazed will nade out. This is a tough retake, but they will show no fear as Anger pushes in. Clock's already ticked a long way down, but they're still going to commit. Schneider gets himself the frag onto Anger, and if it wasn't good enough 2v1 Dazed, then it wasn't good enough 2-on-3, as what I was trying to allude to wasn't a good retake. In the end, proved to be so, but they get away with a gun. And that's going to be 4-2 Fnatic on the board, and the Swedes will feel a little bit of pressure removed.
Yeah, and I don't want to call out any players right now. This is still very early doors, but Skadoodle's made very little impact holding A, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Scoots actually told me earlier he's been playing, you know, well, he hadn't had internet for some time leading up to this event, so they've been kind of struggling to get that practice in with him on board, and he can be a real key factor. You know, Dunn used to sing this man's praises all day long, but right now he's been very quiet. He seems to kind of just get mopped up by A, and likes of AZK does real work, but not seeing that much from him. So maybe a little bit braver from Fnatic now, trying to re-hit up that B side, maybe try their luck again, and well, they've got their answer there. Flushes nade, finding Anger straight away, allowing Daze to kind of get a little bit more aggressive. Not maybe to the extent of Anger usually does, but he's certainly involved in this. Over a spray down, and Fnatic are off. Not fancying that one. They've got the opener. They've got time to play with now, so I can imagine it will be AZK and Skadoodle firmly tucked in on the side. JW looking for that peak, and JW can be such a beast. You have to really see him find maybe his footing in this one. Still sitting at 7-4, so not a bad game, but certainly not the JW we know and love at occasion. But a very passive iBUYPOWER here. Not challenging out, not going for the peak. They obviously have a player disadvantage, but Daze just holding the angle, holding that 1 pixel, does find Flusher, so bringing it back all even. Avenging his fallen teammate, AZK does the damage with that pistol, finds Pronax, and also spots out Schneider and a good couple of others. Daze immediately getting around towards that CT arch, but the T side have already broken through. It's a 3v3. Fnatic, maybe a little bit of better HP as well overall. I'm not too sure on that one. But the bomb has gone down, and iBUYPOWER now in a little bit of trouble. Daze comes out fighting, trying to get the spam down. He knows JW's low, but it doesn't matter. JW does find Adren, leaving it in a 2v2 now, back and forth, but that clock is ticking. They need to make this move, but Devilwalk and Schneider hold on again. And Fnatic, they've found their way in, and it is that A site.
Well, it is. I mean, that was an eco round for iBUYPOWER, so, you know, you can hold certain points for it. However, interestingly enough, for Fnatic, what I really enjoy about them is they hunt in packs.
Yes.
They're down in confidence right now. The game against Reason will have absolutely shot them in confidence, but they're always together. Now, and that's why they've had so much success in A, because religiously there have been 2 iBUYPOWER players in B. So it's been 5-on-3, 5-on-3. And you're asking a lot of players to do something, you know, very, very special round and round again. Dazed and Anger hold each other's hands on B every time, and if you don't get the pick, which iBUYPOWER just have done, then it's really difficult. And Anger will fire in towards that smoke. Didn't really know what he was shooting at, but will be happy to learn that he's done 45 points of damage to Flusher. And with the frag of JW, now's the time for this iBUYPOWER passive defense to work. Flusher's keeping 2 players occupied, though. You're going to see it again. It's going to be a 3-on-3 going in towards A, as Flusher leaves those 2 players on the banana walkway, who eventually will get a little angry and want to push. But Flusher's now going to make their way up. It's going to be a 4-on-3 entry in towards the A site. And iBUYPOWER, despite having the frag, have the numbers against them. Skadoodle gets himself the kill onto Schneider. Nice work for iBUYPOWER, and they will look to help themselves to another. Pronax finishes off AZK. Now, Anger and Dazed move past Banana and are about to join the party. But already, Devilwalk is homing in on that side on the other side, whilst Flusher sits himself in the corner, waiting to try and anchor this attack from the back, but Dazed has done the damage. Devilwalk and Pronax down, only 1 man left standing, and it is Flusher, and iBUYPOWER must convert this round. And Flusher will get out of there and hold on to his AK. It's going to go to 5-3. Better from iBUYPOWER because they got the pick. This religious 2 players on B is dependent on that first frag.
And I'm glad you highlighted that. They're the first team, well, Anger did find Flusher in the end, so nice round all in all, but I'm glad you pointed that out because we watched, a couple of other games on this map, and they were so quick on the rotates. The American team seemed quite static. It is always, number disadvantages on the A side, but how quickly can you rotate down Banana? How quickly can you assume that Fnatic will be going back to A? Obviously, these questions will be in the iBUYPOWER minds, but, it does seem the first team was very reluctant to have that floating player back and forth. Obviously, Daze then really did make his presence known, but it took his time, but still. You are seeing Fnatic still running with guns, still fairly comfortable, and obviously iBUYPOWER picking up the Fnatic AKs, getting quite involved here. Adrent is very close to the action. He does get the spray down, but Schneider quickly replying, and AZK can see none of this. That smoke is completely blocking his view, but Daze will be holding the angle, holding the push. They know they're in between this. There's nowhere else they can go, but Pronax has found Skadoodle and is bringing it into the favor of Fnatic, forcing an aggressive peek out of AZK, finding Pronax down mid, but still, 3v3. Danger can be around any corner, and at the moment, once again, numbers game, 3v1. They are constantly pushing these sides at a disadvantage. Anger, big player, can he go big again? He's going to get the first. That's Devilwalk down. Doesn't get the follow-up onto Schneider. So now we do see the chance for Fnatic to get the bomb down and get slightly set up. They are taking their time. They're not rushing this one. They're going to wait on that plant. They're not rushing at all, actually. Bomb finally does go down, and at this moment, Dazed has already closed in fairly, comfortably. Flusher finding AZK, leaving it on 1v2. Dazed went big before. He's going to have to do it again right now. Gets the spray down, but does not get the kill onto Schneider. And Schneider that round picking up 3 for himself, really pushing his team forward. And Fnatic starting to look a little bit better here.
Yeah, they did. Interestingly to analyze that those 2 B players again for iBUYPOWER. This time when that first frag came in from Fnatic, because it came in so early, Dazed was like, right, sod it, I'm getting over there ASAP.
Yeah.
And they realized that meant there was only 1 over at B, and they did a nice rotate to punish it. So 5-on-4, iBUYPOWER and Fnatic are looking pretty tit for tat here. You'd expect the CT side to go in 1 or 2 up at the half, and we'll see what happens as it looks like it's going to be a bit of a B feeler from Flusher here. He's got a long way up. Pronax has the bomb and has followed him. There's 3 Fnatic players up on this banana walkway, and that'll be frag number 1. Daze just walked further and further into the center of Flusher's crosshair, and he'll help himself to that one. Now with Adren coming around to help, it leaves 2 on either site. JW anchoring middle and Devilwalk pushing down towards A on the other side of the map. And but with JW moving that anchor over towards the B site, that's where they're going to commit, that's where they're going to push. Flusher can't get himself his second frag. Adren delivers. Nice frag from him, crucial frag from him. And now let's see what Fnatic got to offer. JW gets himself that one onto Anger. Anger got caught with his shoelaces untied, if you will, and Skadoodle down by Devilwalk, and that leaves just 2, Adren and AZK. And Pronax moving that bomb around. AZK gets a vital frag onto JW. If they can dispatch of Schneider, they're on a 2-on-2. But they are heavily occupied by Schneider. They don't know about the rotation. They've no idea where Pronax is. And it's AZK who suddenly smells a rat as the bomb goes down on that A side. Adren still has a note. Neither of them have side. Adren's waiting for Schneider to come out. He's caught there. AZK also caught, and they're deciding, you know what, it's safer to get our weapons out of this one. And that's probably the right decision, as that'll leave them at 5-5. No reason to really throw much away on this, and that will give them plenty of ammunition for the 11th round.
And I loved that fake play. The way they just kind of pulled it around to A, and to be fair to iBUYPOWER, they had no idea it was happening. Completely caught out, as you mentioned. And, well, they do manage to retain their guns at the very least, as will Fnatic with 3 members standing. 5-5. This game's getting a lot closer than I thought. You know, at the very start, I was thinking, you know, Jesus Christ, Fnatic, what the hell has happened? Previous champions of the tournament, very similar to this. Kind of made to look like fools, but iBUYPOWER, you know, not necessarily keeping that consistency here. They've been kind of forced back to get those Famuses in the mix. There's just a pistol there for Anger, actually, and obviously those 2 retained weapons. So, not the ideal setup going into the 11th round, but we're going to have to see if this one pays off. It does seem as though Fnatic taking their time here, not really fully committing to either side, but already a Dren finding JW.
And a massive frag that, with JW down,
kill.
no anchor.
Exactly, we know how important this man can be. He's literally led Fnatic on occasion to glorious times, but let's see if they can make it work still. Obviously, Flusher still very much alive and kicking, and they are taking their time here. JW being the top fragger so far for Fnatic, obviously, gravity of that is going to be pretty big, but the smokes are coming over, and still only 2 players for iBUYPOWER, even considering the site. The counter flashes have come through, so a little bit of a slower play coming from Flusher, but they are nevertheless making their way, and actually, they're not going straight towards the site. Pronax does try and get the bomb down, and he's done it right with Daze next to him. That was unbelievable stuff, and iBUYPOWER were just smoked out of that game, and right now it's still a 4v5, but it's an afterplant on a site with 2 players from iBUYPOWER present on. That was beautiful stuff from Fnatic, but can they handle this close quarters combat now? And iBUYPOWER looked a little bit dazed and confused at this one as Flusher has found a doodle. Devilwart picking up Anger. AZK only really player at the moment to make that impact other than the initial kill going down. And now 2 against 1. Can Dren go big? He has got the first. Time now is his biggest enemy. He's going to have to get the hell away from there. And credit to Fnatic. That was gutsy play. They're going to lose out in the end on Pronax, but bomb went off, and they got the bomb down with 2 players in the site still.
They did. It really interesting because it was a save for iBUYPOWER, but the problem was having got that first pick, you expect so much more. But having got it and knowing they were on a save, they went and sat so deep in both sites. They had no vision. They didn't know the B push was coming. They saw that they were exchanging the grenades, but that didn't convince them either because they had no vision. Every player was sat on both A and B within the site. And that meant they just didn't know what was going on. And in the end, it was too little too late. And that was a round they could have won in the end. But it's going to be Fnatic in the lead for the first time. And it'll be 6-5